Welcome to Ghoulish Gab, always spooky, always under 7 minutes. Today we're going to talk about underutilized monsters in films. Some of those monsters or creature types that, where have they been? Why don't we see more movies with this type of thing?
The world has this many monsters, and horror acknowledges this many. So let's talk about it.
I want to start with Gargoyles, because I fucking love Gargoyles. Yeah. And there's like two or three movies that have gargoyles in them, if that. Two, I can think of two. There was a movie called Gargoyles, it was like a 70s made-for-TV movie, done very well. The gargoyles are creepy, and the Tales from the Dark Side anthology. There was a gargoyle story, but beyond that, like nothing comes to mind. And gargoyles are freaking awesome. They're gray stone fuckers that can turn alive and fly. And they're creepy and they're tough. And where are they? Where's the fucking gargoyles?
And they also have the advantage of being easily hideable. Like if you go into any other show that involves gargoyles, like the reason people don't come up, like suspect them, is because when the sun comes up, they hide. So I think that's something that could be really used,
especially with all the types of modern effects and shit today.
Yep.
Bring on gargoyles.
Bring on gargoyles. All right, I'm going to go kind of along that same route because we're kind of leaning towards fantasy here. And I think that fantasy has a lot of creatures that could be utilized in horror and just aren't. So I'm going with fae. Fairies. And I don't mean like the little like Tinkerbells that flit about. I mean, there's this whole genre of high fae, which are basically humanoid creatures with magical powers. And you can get trapped into agreements with them. Yeah. Because you make a bargain for your life, but then if you're not very specific with your wording, it can turn badly. And I don't think we see a lot of fairies because people think of them as like a Tinkerbell type thing. But there are ways, and there's so many varieties of fairies, that this could turn into a really cool thing. And I don't just mean in my smutty little book fairy way. I mean, fae could be a really creepy, because they also, a lot of them have the ability to shapeshift, so they could appear human. And I think fae are severely underutilized, and I think people are too scared to go in the fantasy direction, but fantasy has a whole realm that could go very dark very fast.
There's not even one thing that comes to my mind that uses those.
Yeah.
Like offhand, like one that comes to my mind quick. So, yeah, bring on the fae.
Hell yeah.
Bring them on. All right. I love aquatic horror. It's mostly sharks or piranhas. Sometimes you get a mermaid story, but I want more mermen type creatures, like new ones.
I'm never going to see a merman.
You've got, you take the creature from the Black Lagoon, do something like that, but make it a different creature where it's a man, fish person, with different scary qualities and things, because all of the aquatic stuff is shark. Yeah, that's great, but give me something else in the water.
You could do a lot with that if we're going specifically for the merman angle. Like, it doesn't have to be a humanoid with a tail. Like, there are so many different ways you could incorporate that still make it creepy and make it creepier, especially if you go into like the saltwater, freshwater, blah 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 aspect. Plus, if you're going sea creatures, why aren't there enough? Like, if we're going big, why is it always fucking mega sharks? Why can't it be a fucking Nessie? Because that could be terrifying. Like a Liopleurodon, let's give it. Let's give her.
Bring it.
I'm going to go with giants. I can think of one movie that utilized giants in a way that not necessarily scared me, but I thought was really intriguing and scary, and that was Troll Hunter. Because they had the giant trolls, and they had a whole lore behind it. Like, they can tell if you're Christian, like, and that's what attracts them to you. They have all these different things. I think that people think it's too, I don't know, like fairy tale-ish or whatever, like, because you think of like Jack and the Beanstalk. But there could be, and you do have giant monsters.
Yeah. Like, I was gonna say, this is kaiju, but it's a man.
But I want like a man that like understands what's happening and fucks some shit up. I want giants.
Bring on the giants.
Bring on the giants.
animal people, and what I'm saying, and when this is well done and few and far between, it creeps me out. But I'm talking about people and animals when they're mixed together, and it's a human, but with all these animal features. If that's even making any sense.
No, it does. It does. It's like a different approach to werewolves, because werewolves have been, if we're talking underutilized, werewolves have been overdone. But where lions or cheetahs or where are even some of the lesser thought about animals that could be very creepy, because animals have their own deadly aspects to them, so why can't we humanoid them?
Like sleepwalkers.
Yes,
except good. Which that movie's fun. I do kind of, it's a guilty pleasure now and then, but I want a creature like that where it has the human body but animal features, because that shit creeps me out. So bring that on.
Okay, so for my last one, I'm waffling between the two, so I'm going to say two but expand upon one. One, evil plants. We've seen it a couple of times, but it's not done enough properly. Two, blob-like characters.
Yes.
The Blob, if you've ever watched either iteration of it, is really terrifying. But that's really all we saw, and I don't know if people are too scared to just think it's another remake, but I think there's a better way to do it now that it's this many decades later that could be significantly scary and still be giant. I'm not just talking a little goo. I want a fucking blob taking over a city that is not the Blob.
Well, it's scary. It has no face. It has no
thought
structure.
It just exists to destroy.
Yeah, and then how do you even approach? You can't approach it like a man or an animal or.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Bring on blob-like things. Tell us in the comments what some creatures or types of things that you think are underutilized in horror movies, and tell us what you thought of all those ones. Okay. Also,
not to go too far over, but I mean, maybe you can keep some of these ideas in mind when you're trying to come up with your own Twin Ports horror shorts.
Yes, if you have the budget to make giants in your movie.
Or blobs.
Or blobs.
Buy some gack, you can make it work.
You can do it. Okay, bye.
Bye.